everyone, and welcome back. As you can see, I'm playing around in the garden, and I've went over it, I've disked it, or I've tilled it, and then I disked it, and that made some humps in the dirt. And then I run the drag over it, and then I was still unhappy with how straight it was, so today I said, screw it, I'm tilling it up again. And the reason I didn't do that before was because I had to clean the carburetor on this thing, and I didn't want to go, it takes 5 minutes to pull that bowl and spray up in there, and hopefully it works, and it did. So I decided to till in here where the greenhouse is going to go also, so it can get smoother since I'm at it. And then I can finally start planting some seeds. Well, I've been out here working on this for about an hour now, trying to get this. This is an old, I'm sure this is blurry for you because you're looking through a wire mesh, so just bear with me. This is an old chicken tractor, not one that would go on to the grass, that was here when we bought the place. I've wanted to burn it 10 times, throw it in the dumpster, but Melissa always wanted to keep it. Well, I finally, it was starting to rot away, so I had to do some work on it to get this egg part back on. Anyway, I need somewhere to put these chicks because they're getting too big for that cage. I mean, seriously too big. And so I'm going to put them in here. They got to go probably another month before they can go into the main flock, and that is kind of traumatic for them because there's a pecking order and it's pretty harsh. So I want them to get bigger. So I need to put them out here for now. I thought I had a feeder, a bigger feeder. I'm sure we have one somewhere. I mean, Melissa had 150 chickens down in Louisiana, but it's probably in that front garage, and I looked in there, and I'm not crawling around in there trying to find stuff. And I had one, and I was going to hang it here, and when I tried to twist it on, my thumb went right through the plastic, so it was just rotted away. 2 waterers, so I can get by with a couple days without giving them water. And then the food, I'll get that taken care of. I don't, I check them every day, but time to get them into their new home for the next month. It's a little after 8 o'clock right now. It's been a long day. We went into the fruit truck and got fruit today. There you go. No, you don't want to come out. No. Yeah, be like the turkey and go for the water. Oh, you guys are pains in the butt. I will win. Telling you right now. There you go. Now you guys can be happy. Huh? All right, I'm calling it a day. I'm gonna go inside and grab a beer. Hopefully tomorrow I can get some seeds planted. Good morning, everybody. I'm out here trying to get a few things done on the garden because it was nice and sunny and we have rain coming this afternoon. Or there's a good chance that some showers could come by, so I decided last night to do this right here. Well, I just drove up to L&M. I need to go in there and get some of those fence staples or whatever they're called. Couldn't find any on my shelves in the workshop. Well, this is the fence for growing the peas on, and you can plant them on both sides. 13 foot row. I'm gonna have one on that side also. I think in the future, once I figure out how many of those cattle panels I need for doing a pig pen and whatever else we're gonna do, and I don't know how many more I think I have another 12 or 13 or 14 to pick up. Then I wouldn't mind, because I think I might want 2 rows of these. She said she wanted to grow a lot of peas, and it takes a lot if you're going to shuck them and can them. You know, I usually myself would just grow the snow peas, because you know you can eat the pod and just have them in like stir fry and stuff like that. Because years ago, even when my kids were little, we would grow the peas and then go through and shuck them, and that was, even with the kids doing it, it was a job. And I had to leave it short because this will be fenced, and otherwise you're completely blocked off from getting through the garden unless you're going that way. But if I had cattle panels and I knew if I had extra, I would just cut them to 13 feet, 4 of them, 2 here and 2 there. That'd be a lot of peas. These first 5 rows are corn, and with corn you always want to plant it several rows together, preferably 4 or more versus 1 long row, because when the storms come in, the wind, it just blows it over, and this way it kind of, you know, works like one tree in the forest comes, or there's a whole bunch of them, you know, they don't all blow over. I put the rows 24 inches on center, which I'll cry about later because it'll be so hard to get in there and weed. But once the corn gets pretty big, the weeds, there aren't that many in there. And I could come in here and mulch it with like grass clippings or something. We'll see what happens. And then from here, then I'm going to 30-inch rows, so I have a little bit more room to get in there. Well, I just went inside and Melissa's almost done with lunch. She's making homemade chicken tenders. It smells so good in there. Mashed potatoes and gravy, and I don't know, green beans maybe for a veggie, I'm not really sure. Actually, we didn't even talk about a veggie, I don't know. I just want some chicken tenders and some mashed potatoes. We have some light rain showers kind of going through right now. I'm going to attempt to go out there and plant some of this corn. So when you plant your corn, you want to be about 1 inch deep with it, which is like a little more than a knuckle for me. I like to plant mine 8 inches apart. It calls for 9 to 12, but by doing 8, I don't think it affects anything as far as growing, and it gets pretty windy here sometimes, and it kind of helps hold them up. This one on the end, this is going to be taken over by weeds. I mean, the fence is going to go here, and I can just guarantee you that these end ones are kind of just for show right now. gray male cat is still here. I just watched him. I have all the corn planted. I think there's 220 plants, or that I put 2 seeds in at least. And I didn't even have to open up any of the other packages, so it's all 63 day. Next, I'm going to do 2 rows of beans on each side. I'll do the peas, which will be here, and then I'll do bean, and I'll do that, on both sides of the little walkway here. When I do beans, I do them about 3 inches apart, and you plant them about 1 inch deep, so like 1 knuckle down, and I put 2 per hole. They say later on you're supposed to thin them out to every 6 inches. I don't, and I also don't weed it back to whatever it's called, where you take one of the plants out and 2 come up. I just leave the 2. I get a lot of beans, so I haven't seen him. Last I seen him, he was going this way. Well, I've had about all I can handle of the garden today. And yesterday I've just had enough. So I'd like to run this first line. I need to start getting fence posts in for the initial fenced area that we're going to need when we get the cows, which doesn't have to be huge this fall because we're getting them in August. By the end of October the grass is done growing here, and then it's going to be round bales. So, but I need to start getting it put in so I feel like I'm making some progress on it. And then once I start, like any project, once I start it, then I can picture it better in my head. I mean, I've got an idea, but I've got so much crap here because I've got too much stuff going on. So I need to start, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the T-posts, we're going to do 3 strands of electric fencing. But eventually I might want to switch it and put in the strong corners and put in barbed wire with like 1 line of electric. We'll see what happens. So, but for now I'm figuring 3 lines of electric, but I'm going to put my posts 12 feet apart, depending on what kind of fencing you can get. They have some, like the high 10 style stuff, you can go like 80 or 90 feet between posts. Well, I'm not. I suppose they have to put those things in the middle. I was looking it up, but most of them are between 10 and 20 feet. I'm going to stay at 12 because that's kind of where I'm comfortable with if I do, 4 strands of barbed wire. But of course I'd have to have the big wooden corners and everything. But right now we just want to start getting stuff run, scratch my head, see what I think, run through, come back up, and just get the area fenced in so I can let this grass grow and I can mow around it. And then later on we're going to do the rotational type stuff. So like over in this area, I can even do a movable fence or put one in with gates so we can move the cows from one place to another when the grass gets eaten down too far. I think this, I don't know how many feet that is that I'm going, but I think I'm going to put a better stake in right there. This is actually the back side of where the woodshed will be extended to, and then we'll go out here with that little shed just for a shelter for them and a place to put more firewood. But this and that, I strung everything off of this little building, so if I can just kind of get a line going straight, tie my thing here, run it along that stake and get all the way back by the woods, I think that'll work. Let's see, we want to go the other way. Well, this morning I'm trying to figure out where I want to put the gate. I've got the battery charger and generator going on the forklift back there. Try to get that started. And Brandon is over here taking apart these hoops so I can get them put up. I hit water at 34 inches. I went down to 44. That's how high the water table is right now. When I was doing the guest house, I would hit it at 60 inches. Well, Brandon finished taking apart all the hoops. I thought that would take a lot longer. I mean, it took him most of the day, but I thought that was going to take a few days. They were, he got a good system going, and this is going to be awesome. Looks like we have one more cloud blowing through with some rain. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. I was hoping to get back out here and get that last hole in on that front, but it's been about an hour and it looks like it's going to rain for another hour, and it's already almost 7 o'clock, so I think we'll just call it a day and I'll start up again tomorrow. I will see you guys on the next video.